Because when something really outside of our control happens, it can shake your whole system. And so we want to spend this next hour together in a really focused place and just really being intentional about our work, intentional about our healing, so that we can take those healing thoughts and our healing frame of mind out into the world. This is a good chance to really check into your breathing, right? So with the mask on, I know it's difficult for some of us to breathe with the mouth closed, but you just want to feel that you're lengthening the inhale, engaging your core muscles, sitting tall, and then just feeling a nice, soft, equal breath on the exhale. And we might even just start with our hand on the belly. Take a big belly breath. Make yourself 6 months pregnant, like my soon-to-be daughter-in-law. And exhale. Well, daughter-in-law, soon to be more pregnant. She already is my daughter-in-law. And we're going to inhale and inflate the belly. And then exhale, just let it release. Good. And just notice how that softens your shoulders. We're so tempted to breathe up into the shallow breaths in our chest. And when you really come into that focused belly breath, it's almost just therapeutic to feel that expanse. I know we all kind of feel like we always got to hold our midsection in. We've got to sometimes just let that soften and release. So work at your own pace here. Just nice, easy ebb and flow. Breathing out, front and sides, and breathing back, feeling the breath exit at the lungs at the back. Good. Let's slowly open our eyes and take our arms out to the side. Let's bring the arms up. Inhale. Do kind of a seated sun salutation. Exhale, hands down to the center. Because we're really mindful of our bones, when we press the hands together, we're trying to create resistance there, right? So energy through the fingers, reach the arms out and press it in. Good. And this time, as we bring the arms down into the center, we'll press the hands out, stretch the hands into some nice extension, and bring it back into the heart space and push it out. Spread your hands, open that out, and then bring it back. So just warming things up, feeling that nice expanse there. Just let that left hand come down to the side of the chair. Let's reach that right arm up. Now feel the feet on the floor, the sit bones down into the chair, and just the press of that left hand down into the chair. Can you stretch that right arm up without really hiking your shoulder? Where could that come from? So if we anchor that shoulder, arm down into the shoulder, can we make the arm stronger? That's it. Fingers reaching, radiating towards the ceiling, and long, tall spine. Yeah, so often I think we go with sort of the easy thing, which is to sort of hike instead of stretch. Now take your palm and go ahead and push that out and feel that there's a force field that you have to work against. And in this way, you're training your body to create its own force and energy and strength as you draw down. Did everybody feel that in the triceps? Yeah, I mean, this is in our power to do. Right hand down to the side of the chair, left arm stretches up. Okay, I know right away that I'm going to feel that in my neck a little bit. So then I'm going to come back down and align the arm. Now, from that plugged in sensation, I'm going to then see what I can do to stretch up without involving my neck. Yeah, and I'm seeing that for all of you. There's a new kind of energy that we can bring in instead of the strain, how the fingers get electric, how you really feel the arm get a little bit stronger. Good. Now push that palm away and create the resistance as you press out, energize slowly, and bring it down towards the floor. Good, yeah. All right, let's just kind of get a little bit of hand movement going. Let their hands come into a little bit of extension, kind of flick out. And then let's massage into it. So take your thumb of your one hand and work down each of the digits from the base of your wrist all the way up. This is such therapeutic work, as we've talked about before, and we've done this. I work with so many folks who have various kinds of arthritis, and it's very tender in these areas, especially into the thenar eminence there around the thumb. So we want to create nice, soft work to get that circulation going. And then you're going to pull each of the fingers out like you're taking a glove off of your fingers. Feel that friction as it draws out. Good, definitely feels different on that hand. So now I'm going to take that into the other hand, make sure I get equal treatment over there. And work it nice and flowing, breathing in, breathing out. Make sure you get that really good stretch of the fingers all across, create that friction. And these seem like simple things, but they're a really important part of just getting that circulation, that breathing back, these little taps, are just to stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system, helping us get into a rest and relaxation mode. Good, and then take those warm hands up into your face. Let the fingers just kind of dance along the contours of your face, along the temples, into the jaw, up into your skull. Yeah, just maybe back behind the ears, any place that just needs a little bit of love right now. And it's amazing when you do these self-massage techniques, how much it releases in a very short time. You might take it down a little bit towards your neck. We've talked about that neck up there, and we'll spend a little time up there. This ridge here at the back of your skull, this is called your occipital ridge. And if you think about this, all the lines down here, there's muscles underneath there that we activate in a bad way sometimes when we start to bring our arms up like this. And let's feel some of those right now, okay? So take your index finger right at the jaw hinge. And we're just gonna, this is your masseter. And so if you open and close your mouth or you yawn, that's the action of the masseter. And it takes incredible force to chew. So this is an area that's commonly very tight for us. I find if I just press in there until I find my trigger point, there's always one, right? And then I'm just going to isolate that and just slowly massage right around that area, tiny little bead-sized shape. Might yawn and open my mouth a couple of times. And I find that the more I do this on a regular basis, it's just not as bad. It just takes a little attention to those tension points and it's out. Now, take your hand, your index finger, and come right behind your ear, and you'll feel a flat little bone area there. That's the start, the attachment point there of your sternocleidomastoid. As you slide very slowly your hand, you'll find this kind of very thick muscle that goes right down towards your shoulder blade. And let's practice the action of the sternocleidomastoid. So we're just going to put a little bit of pressure there. Now, if you turn your head towards one side, you feel how that's activated there. So you can imagine if, in addition to turning your head, or it's also involved in flexing downward, if you're doing more than that action, like tensing up there, then that never really gets to release and do the job that it's supposed to. And this is why we start hurting in these areas, all right? Right, and now let's try a little bit of our neck work and see if that's just a little happier here, right? So we'll just go ahead and turn the head to the right, and we'll bring the back of the right hand to the back of the left cheek. Now contract that by pushing your head slightly into the hand. Inhale. And then as you exhale, just see if you can use the hand to coax the head a little bit further to the right. And you just let that be for 5 to 8 breaths there, just seeing if you can get a little bit more give when the muscle starts to release just a little bit. And it really is effective. Research shows that you can get about 15% more flexibility this way. Good. Let's go back to our starting point. Right, so we level out the shoulders, chin is level. And we're just going to slowly draw it over towards the left. Just the neck, whatever you get on that first pass, you pause. Now take your left hand to the back of the right cheek. And you'll push the head back into the hands. That's going to contract the muscles there. And then very slowly relax and see if you can just coax it a little further. Keep the right shoulder back. You can keep your hand on, or you can just take it off and just pause in that further shaping. Breathing in, breathing out. That's it, just pausing to reflect on the change of your flexibility here. Good. Let's come back to center. Now let's try to do it in a side bend. Don't let your shoulder come along. Sometimes I have to kind of remind it to stay put. Just drop your right ear down towards the right. Ooh, that's tight for me tonight. Then take your right hand to the back of your left side of your head. You're going to push the head back into your hand. There, contracts those side scalenes there. And then you'll just slowly feel the weight of the arm, maybe coaxing a little bit more length. Doesn't have to be far. You don't really want to be aggressive with this. Just a little bit of a stretch there. It might feel okay to just look down towards your armpit, add a little rotation to that. That's too much at any point. You get to leave anything out because you're always in charge. And we'll slowly take our time coming back. Ooh, a little loose there, doesn't it? Okay, let's let the left ear drop down. Keep that right shoulder down. Sometimes it wants to help. And we'll bring the hand to the back of the skull there. Press the skull back into the hand. And then just with almost no effort, just see if the weight of that arm might coax you down a little bit more. Pausing here, just to notice, feel, and breathe. And then we'll just draw that chin down, looking towards the armpit. Sense how that movement, a coupling movement of both side bending and rotation adds much more challenge to the neck. What muscles there? And we'll bring that back. All right, let's get one more here. So work the neck into extension. So interlace your hands behind your head. Try to keep the shoulders so soft as you can. Use the thumbs to traction your neck and see if you can position the skull on your spine. I often find mine way too far forward. So now you're going to press your head back into the webbing of your hands. Wow, and you feel how much stretch there is in those neck extensors. And relax it. And then press the head into the hands, stretch the head, and release it. Good. Everybody's posture just got an inch taller. One more time. Sit up tall. And then release. And how could we maybe keep that shape going the whole time? Yeah, might be nice. Okay, so let's take our arms out. Catherine's got the right idea. We'll do a little bit of our helicopter arm. So we're just going to bring them up and around. So just change which arm comes on top as you move through. Inhale, exhale. Take your time and just explore the range of your arms. Stretch up and back. Excellent. One more set, just move through it. Get nice lubrication into the arm joints and then shake it out. All right, let's just do a little bit of our coordination. So we'll take our hands up to the arms. We're going to reach them up, back, and around. We're going to lift the heels and stomp as they come down. So give a little bit of attention to the calcaneus and the cuboid as they reach into the hip. And we'll come forward with the arms. And that adds a degree of coordination. We have to think about that a little differently. All right, now we're going to take the right leg up, right heel up, left arm back. I know, think about that. So opposites, up, back, and down, up, back, and down. And you think, well, this is just easy peasy until it isn't, right? Because our brains are having to do multiple things at once, and then we pick up the pace and it gets a little harder and you forget what side you're on, and that's okay because it's just yoga class, but we try to have a little bit of energy, a little bit of fun. And then we got to bring one arm forward with the opposite. Good. I can't trick you all tonight. You're doing a great job with this, right? Good. Got some good chicken wings going over there, Sharon. That looks good. Reach up and back and shake it out. Good. All right. Let's get our bands.
Rockets.
Rockets. Here we come. Okay, so take it wide. Let's start with our arms and we'll move down to the legs. Now, I want to feel that my arm bones are opening before I draw up, because if they're turned in when I bring it up, it's going right back to that neck. So imagine that you've got to open a jar. That's your arm. And then you're going to bring it up as far as it feels good for you. And if you find that that band is too tight, you get to change it, adjusting as you move up. Now, can you be thinking about the groundedness of your feet, the groundedness of your hips, but really tall in your spine? And you're stretching up there. You feel those chest muscles really open. And then bend it behind you. Ooh, yeah, there's a challenge. And how can we do that without dropping our head? Because somehow we anticipate that we need some space and we just help out too much. We don't need to. Bring it back. One more time. Stretch it up. Oh, big morning yawn. And let's just take that right behind the shoulders. So actually, I got to do it with a little fatter position. It wasn't as easy and efficient as I had meant it to be. So we're just going to take it up, so more up on the shoulders. There you go, like you're wearing a shawl. Yep. Good. Yeah, and we're just going to kind of massage that, work across that, move to the shoulders. And these are just little rotations that start to wake up the body. One arm coming forward, one arm staying there. See if you can move it down a little bit, Shelly. Yeah, so it's not going to pinch up at you. Yeah, right about there. Good. Yeah, and you'll start to feel the way that trunk starts to rotate. Good. Head just kind of coming along for the ride. Good. Now, I'd like you to keep it steady there and breathe into your belly. Inhale. And as you exhale, draw back into the band as you sit up tall in your spine. So breathe into the belly and then exhale, tighten the band. Good. Around your spine. So create a little friction with the band, but a lot of integrity for your core muscles as you sit tall. Once more, reach, stretch, and release. Good. Now let's take the band. And we're going to start with both legs today. So we're going to hinge forward and just slip the fat of the band underneath both of those feet. Now hold it like a bouquet of flowers with your hand here and sit as far forward on the chair as you can. Okay. So we really don't want to create any movement with the pelvis at all here. So you're going to try to march out to the side to create some resistance with your glute medius, those side hip muscles, and then draw yourself back in a little closer. Create some nice resistance while you're getting some heel beats here. And you can feel like you're a puppeteer moving your Sesame Street characters. There you go, out and in. You might bring it out, forward, stomp, stretch. Just notice the muscles that recruits as you're doing that from the back of the hip. Push it out. Good. Now take it really wide. So sit up tall in your spine. You may have to adjust what's going on with your arms here. I'd like you to have your thumbs up, sitting tall in your spine. Plug your arms back into your shoulders. This is your lats. It's hard to do this, so don't worry if you only go a few inches. Straight arms, pull up. So sit up really tall. Try not to lean back and just feel like you're raising your armpit muscles up. Yes, good. I know it's challenging. So there's a reason we did all that neck work before, so that you realize I don't want to go there. I really want to feel that right around the spine. Couple more. Breathe in and out. Stretch up and release. Anybody else feel that? I know those are muscles we don't work a lot. Okay, so we'll hinge forward and we're going to take the band now around the right foot. And we'll come into our Janushirshasana position. Say that 5 times fast. You're going to stretch out with your right leg mostly straight, and your left leg is going to be bent. You're on the ball of the foot. So try to sit tall, but you're going to turn about 10 degrees just to be looking out over that right knee. All right, so here, let's work on some of the rhomboids at the middle back. Hope you're okay there, Bonnie, if you're able to hear. Okay, good. Now press into the foot and draw back. Good. So try to keep it out of the neck area. Feel like you're hugging your bra hook in. That's it. Good. You should feel a lot of core work there too as you spread the toes. So create these resistances for your feet, your shoulders, and your spine. Good. Pull it back as you exhale. Inhale, release. Pull the belly in. Looks good. We'll start 2. Nice, Leslie. Good posture. And back. Good. Now from here, let's take and change that and bring it back a little bit into the center. All right, now we're going to come here and reach out and push through the heel, stretch through that hamstring. Maintain your posture. Try not to lean back. That might mean you have to lower the leg. I see that everybody's doing a really good job of pressing that from your hamstring, not just straightening the leg. That's it. Good. Create good energy with that. Push out, find the resistance. And this time we'll stay out there, stretching, sitting tall, pushing down into the other leg. Can you flex that foot a little bit more? Yes, drive it into your calf muscle. Now stretch it out to the side and squeeze it in. And nothing changes in that pelvis. We're reaching that out with good energy and coming back towards the center. Stretch it out. You got it. Once more, reach it out. And then just bring that leg up. Now we're going to take the band away for a second. Take your left hand. We're going to have a little handshake with the foot. You're going to reach each of your fingers into the toes there. Give yourself a little shake and put the same attention to your toes that you did to your hands. You're just trying to give them a little bit of warmth. Ooh, right. Shake it back, stretch your feet. Feels really good, actually. Just a little bit more attention. And it might feel okay to just kind of massage into the feet, just like you did with your hand. Wow, I've been on my feet all day. That sure feels like magic. All right, good. All right, let's change sides. So now we're going to go over to the left foot. We hinge, nice flat back. Take the band around the fat of your foot. You're just turning it about an 85-degree angle. The left foot is coming in sort of like you're bisecting your groin. Okay. All right. So here, let's do some bicep curls as we work with that. So we're going to take our palms up. We're trying to keep our wrist really firm, our shoulders drawing back, and we pull up as we exhale. So no bend in your wrist. That's a common fracture point with osteoporosis. Good. That's it. You want to fully extend and fully contract. Nice work. Let's try 5 and back. Shoulders down, neck is open, belly in. And this band work, I think, is just fantastic. Every time we do it, we feel the work. Know that it's really helping, and release. Okay, walk that back into the center. Take your change of your grip, sit up tall, stretch the leg up towards your hip and press out, away. Good. Where's that energy coming? From the heel. When you flex your foot into dorsiflexion, that targets the posterior hips. A pointed foot targets the front of your hips. All right, so check it out. Press your foot out here. Now point. See how that migrates to the front? You flex it, it goes back toward your butt. You point and you flex. And it's not like one's worse than the other, but often we're tight already in the front and we don't always feel that as much in the back. Good. Now we're going to push that leg out to the side and bring it back towards the center and stretch away and come back. Now really keep that opposite hip quiet. I think a lot of us are trying to come along, play with it. Just keep it steady. You go out. Good. And then just bring it back and just prop that over. Just kind of rest it right there. Feel a nice little stretch into the piriformis. And we'll take the band off. Good. And then walk each of your fingers in there. Say hello to your toes. Shake hands with your foot. Just stretch through there. A little nice little self-massage. We're going to be spending some time on our feet in just a bit, so we want to make sure that everything is nice and loose and responsive to our movements. Okay, move that band off to the side, please. Hinge forward and let's grab your two blocks. All right, let's spend a little time working on our chair positions. I'd like us to work both the inner thigh and the hips and the hands here. So the block between the inner thighs is to kind of keep us in a train track position and not letting our knees pronate. So a lot of times when your knees pronate, it's because your hips, your hip flexors here are really firing too aggressively. So you want to feel the squeeze kind of helping you get more into the posterior hip, okay? So press into your feet. We're pulling the abs up and we're hovering in a flat back. Good. That's it. That's it. Pressing there. Now press into your hands and feel the resistance there into the wrist. You're hinging, you're drawing your abs in and your chin back. Good. Yes. Now, can you feel yourself coming forward on your toes a little bit? Lift your heels. Good. And go back. And now lift your toes. So feel the balance challenge there as you come forward on your toes. Good. And then draw back to your heels and forward on your toes and back towards your heels and then have a seat. That was excellent, you all. Those are little ways that you can start adding a little balance challenge. Have you started your program yet?
No, he hasn't sent me my password thing yet.
Oh, okay. I thought he did. Well, let's talk to him when we get upstairs. Okay, press into your feet. Good. This time you'll hinge, you'll hold. Now shoulders are soft. Press the hands out. Now feel like you're going to serve here, something right here. Can you feel the palms flat? Emphasize your pinkies, chest broad, get a little taller. Good. Now from the pinkies, you should feel that way that targets the lats again, which is what we did with the bands. Hugging the shoulders in. Bring it up an inch and down an inch. Good. And up an inch and down an inch. Really feel your feet, spreading your feet. Good. All that good work, creating resistance into your hips. One more here. Reach. And then slowly come back down. I think we feel the butt muscles. Are we good? All right, one more here. We're doing great. Take a breath, hug the abs in, press and sit up tall. Good. Now I want you to just do a little coordination thing here. You're just going to take the arm out to the side. Okay, you're not looking at it and you're going to bring it back to the other hand. So your hips are really working here. We're aware of that, but suddenly our brain has to process something else. Not hard. Just different, and that is why it's good. Now this time, take it into the right hand and turn your head left and bring it back to center. Take it into your left hand and turn your head right. Good. I know your butt's feeling it, mine is. Take it to the right, turn your head left. Come back to center. Take it to the left, turn your head right. and then come up tall. Ooh, well done, excellent. All right, so let's just move our blocks and anything else out of the way, avoiding our trip hazards. Let's start out with our chair bottom facing away. Work on our calf stretches, and then we'll come into some of our warrior poses. Good, just make sure your chair is secure on your mat. Go ahead and stretch back with that right foot. Left leg is going to bend so that the knee tracks over the ankle, but we're really working on this posterior hip. Now, on your first press there, you feel okay, maybe a 5 on a 1 to 10 scale. Shoulders soft, that's it. Good, light fingertip touch. Now, reach up, feel that stretch. Feels great. And let's bring it back an inch or 2 further. So see if you can get a little bit more gain. That might go up to a 6, right? Somewhere in there. And we're going to stay with that just a bit. Abs in, chest broad. Good. Really creating more and more opening. That's it. Now let's peel it off. And this time take the right arm up. Good. Take your gaze upward and then press it down. If it feels okay, if your balance is all right, take the other hand off and feel like you're striding through the forest. Inhale and exhale. Feel the way the one foot secures your balance and the other one adds the mobility. Think about where your body is moving in space. Good. Reach up. Beautiful. And if you wobble, that's okay. That's your body feeling its way into the balance. Now, take the right arm up and pause. Hold the chair if you need to. Turn your head to the left. Good. Breathe in. Turn the head back. Bring the heel down and take your left arm forward. Turn your head to the right. Breathe in. Good. Lift the right heel, the right arm's up. Turn your head left again. Oh, it gets harder on the second time. Good. Take that hand down. Look to your right. Great job, everyone. And let's change sides. Well done. Okay. All right, shake it out. Get a little sassy hip going on there. Got to neutralize that one side. So as you step back for that first time, it's not a huge, gigantic stretch, just the first one. We're just sort of sensing. Now, can you feel as you're pressing down into that heel that it's not the back of the knee? It's electric in the lower part, but there's a little integrity right at the thigh, right? So we're going to peel it off, which feels so good to the foot. And then we're going to step back and see if we can gain some more flexibility. Good. Pausing there. Breathing in. Yeah, I'm trying to just sense that change in our bodies. Good. Then we peel it up and the left arm this time. One or both arms is available. That chair is there for you to use it if you need to. Two sides are very different. So we're just reflecting on that. We're curious, not judging, just curious. Good. Now can we take the left hand up and turn the head right? And then bring it down and turn the head left. Now what if we brought the left hand forward and we looked up? Ooh, that changes things. And we bring that hand down and bring the right arm up and look down and over to the side. Good. And again, left arm up, head up, right arm up, head down. Because in this way, we're creating the conditions that are more like life. You know, we reach out for putting something in the closet up and the dog barks and we look down. And so how do we maintain our balance in those movements? All right, let's come into a little bit of a hip hinge here. We're going to stretch back, spread the feet. All right, and the chair is there again if you need it. Now let's work with a little bit of lateral breath. Can you now lift the left foot? Good. And then plant it down. And then bring the right leg up. Good. And place it down. Maybe your hands off. Maybe not. It's okay if it's not. All right, good. Now we're going to come into an exercise that Rebecca Rothstein has done before. You all may have done it in your bone strong classes. And you're in a hinge, and we're trying to maintain that without rounding the back. Now let's see if you can bring your hands forward, okay? We're going to try to step forward, side, and back while maintaining this and not sagging too much on the other hip. So take the right foot forward and then out to the side. And then bring it to the back and bring it forward. Good. And to the side and to the back. Once more, stay with the hip hinge. Forward. Good. Side and back and stand up. Ooh, you feel that better? Good stuff. And it's challenging our balance, which is great. Find that hinge, making sure you're back with your butt, your knees are parallel. Just bring the other hand on top to even things out. Sitting's tall, left foot forward, side, back, good, forward, side, very good, back, great job. Take share to make sure you're not collapsing into that right knee and back. Excellent, well done. I know, and you just got to kind of laugh and say, okay, I'll just get better and better with that. All right, step forward with our right foot. Here's our warrior one. So we want to make sure that that knee is tracking and you're not rolling it in. So let's talk about where that comes from, right? You want to feel that you've got some good grounding into this outer hip. If that's tight, and it's not really secure there, your knee is going to collapse. That's what happens. It's just too tight there. You got to work into the butt. Good. Now with the back leg, it's slightly externally rotated, but you want to feel the outer edge of your foot. And in that foundation is where we build our warrior. Feel the legs. Back leg long, front leg bent, slightly turned out. You got it. Good. Now let's take the arms up into a cactus shape. Any point, if you need that chair, it's there for you. Good. Now stretch the arms up as you look up, inhale, and then exhale like you're pulling something down. You come back to the cactus shape. Feel the way that moves from your shoulder blades and away from your neck muscles. Good work. So feel the lower trapezius. Start the initiation at the base of your shoulders. And this time, let's take the hands behind the head. Just interlace them there if you can. This warrior one, Virabhadrasana one, is essentially, that's a back bend. So we're going to practice that here. Feel the feet. Gently draw the abs in, spread your shoulders, and then just push the head into the hands as we did when we were in our standing posture or seating postures. Good. Breath in. Breath out. Looks great, you all. Beautiful balance work tonight. Take your hands back to the chair, please. Let's straighten that front leg. You may want to bring that back leg in an inch or two. Here comes our pyramid pose, okay? So what I want you to do with this one, you can keep the chair. I'm just going to remind you that the hips should be square for this one, right? And we're hinging. So the movement occurs here, not at your pelvis. So you press into the feet. That's the most important part. It's not about getting to the floor. Now, project your forehead out, not down, out. Stretch. Good, Sally. Beautiful work in your spine. And then just take your hands to the small of the back. I like to keep mine kind of at the butt area there. Yes, good. Really nice, Bridget. That looks super. So feel those feet. You want to feel isometrically that your right hip is drawing back and your left hip is drawing forward. And that strengthens you towards the middle. Breathe in. Breathe out. Looks great. Chest proud. Now we come into a revolved triangle. Take your left hand to the chair. Still steady in that position. Bring that right arm up and look up towards the side, but your hips remain square to the chair. I love alliteration. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Looks great. And we'll take our hands down, bend that knee, Step the foot forward. Ah, good. Let's neutralize that with a little mountain pose. Just spread your feet about hips distance apart. And back it up, stack it up. Make sure your hips are long, your abs are in, your rib muscles are hugging in. And then there's this just beautiful symmetrical spine. And we'll just turn our palms to face out. Anatomically, that feels so much better in our bodies. Now, if you can close your eyes, going to challenge your balance. If that doesn't feel good to you, you can leave the eyes open. But sense how much stronger you are, how much more aware you are because of this practice. Just gets better if we practice. Good. Open your eyes. If they were closed, step the left foot forward and the right foot back. Coming into Virabhadrasana, Warrior One on this side. Hips are square. We check because sometimes we think they are, and it might need a little adjusting. I definitely know on one side I'm a little cockeyed, so I'll give it a little check-in point. Okay, this time, let's bring the arms forward. Inhale. And as we exhale, push the palms back. Really feel your chest broad. Good. Inhale, reach forward, stretch. And exhale, feel that force into your shoulders and your hands. And reach forward, stretch. That's it. Get that really good opening across that back leg. Let's do one more. Reach, anchor through that back leg, beautiful, and press and hold and strong work, strong chest. It becomes the back bend that we know. Breathe in, and even the hands are contributing to that small external rotation of the arm bones that allows those pecs to be open. Good. Breathe in, looks so nice. And then that front leg, we start to straighten. Right, and it can be slightly bent, but we're trying to, again, hinge. Now, remember, your pelvis is high, your hips are low, so pause. Don't get to the floor. Really try to feel that all the work happens here. You can feel it pivot like a barbecue skewer. Go smaller than you usually do. Really try to feel the butt, more butt. Even more butt, right, as you come forward. Now pause, check in, draw your chest muscles in. Good, that's it. And now we take the hands to the small of the back. Good, that's it. Less is more in so many of these poses. So often when we get further, all we're doing is rounding. You really want to think about flat spine, strong legs. Left hip draws slightly back, right hip draws slightly forward. That's it. It's just like you're plugging those leg bones into the acetabulum. Good. Now take the right hand to the left side of the chair. You're not pulling it toward you, you're just placing it there. And then with your left arm, you're just going to reach it up. Keep that energy in your core and see if you can take your gaze up to the left thumb. Breathe in. Breathe out. How strong you are, how much more balanced you are because of the practice. Good breathing, Nancy. And take that hand back to the center. I know. A little happy hip dance would be in order, I think. Stretch it out. Good. Massage into that. That's a lot of work into those hips. But your DEXA scan is going to be happy. That's what we want. All righty. Good. Let's flip the chair bottom. All right. Let's do a little bit of our tree version today. All right. So step your right foot up on the chair. Now with your left leg, check in that you're not sagging to the outside. This is when we really need the glute medius, the glute minimus over here to firm up and engage, because if they go out, so is your balance. So imagine that you are squeezing inward with both legs. You should feel some prom fanny work right there, okay? The other leg's pressing down because we want to create multiple focal points of resistance. Let's start with just the hands at a prayer position. We know the way the fingers can energize their wrists as they press together, and we're feeling the shoulder blades slide down. Stay here, nice long spine. Perfectly great work right here. You want a little bit more sensation. See if you can rise up on the ball of that left foot. Keep your gaze at the fingertips. Really focus your drishti, your gaze point there. Good. And come down, try it again. If that first time didn't quite work, spread the toes. Feel the work. Good. When you have to focus on something, it aids your balance, but it might momentarily throw the balance because that's not where you are used to moving. That's okay. Woo. Catherine and I are having a hard time focusing on our fingers, not each other, as we're coming up. And pause. And drop it. How about that, friends? Well done. Well done. Shake it out. Yeah, that's kind of our reset, like our little etch-a-sketch. All right, step the left foot on. Now, if you're a right-handed person like me, right leg just feels like it's a weak sucker. It's really used to moving, but it's not always strong. So we might need to spend a little bit more time plugging that in and really feel the muscle strengthening of the outer hip. Yeah, and now just get that upright posture, butt long, belly in. Let's take the hands out to the side. So you're kind of adding a oppositional force here, right? We can push it down, just a sensing, as that flows. What does that do to my centering on the chair? That's okay. We can rise up to releve here. Good, that's it. If at first that feels a little unsteady, you get to practice. That's what we're doing here. Taking your time. You can always leave out the releve. Always up to you. But what I'm seeing and what I think you're experiencing is that you get a little bit more confident. Get a little bit more fluid in your movements. And then we try to hold that without holding the breath, but just a sense of both the strength and the lightness there. Shoulders opening. That's it. You all are fantastic, strong women. It was awesome. Well done. All right, let's go ahead and just pull that chair in there. We'll get a little sumo wrestler squat here. Take your legs nice and wide. And we're just going to talk about those hip rotators. Okay, so if you take each of your fingers and find your sit bones, right? Those little prominent sit bones. Okay. Now, right inside that area, down, is it too narrow or too much for you? Okay, if it's too much, we just leave that part out of it for sure. But I want you to sense, like if you draw that in right towards your tailbone, that area is where the deep six rotators are. Okay, the main muscles that are trying to move your leg bone out. So let's just sense that as you kind of lift the right leg and turn it out. What do you sense? Ooh, tight, right? It's not always very agreeable to us. And it's a pretty wide berth. I get it. We won't stay here long. But and feel free to come out of it totally, because that may be too much as you work for the other leg. Yeah, it's just an area that is really tight for us, okay? So now you're gonna take your hands to the chair, press into the feet, and lift with that wide hip. And then bring it down to see if you can really sit back. Yeah, good. Lower on the chair, bring it up, press into your feet. You're doing great. Try to feel your knees opening and your hips widening, and then see if you can just hover, right? So we're in a bit of that sumo wrestler squat. You might want your feet a little wider. I do. You might want them a little narrower. It's up to you. All right, good. That's it. Now, take your hands to the inner thigh, spread your toes, pull the abs in. Good, and let's do this with our horse stance today. That chair's there if you need it. Bring your arms forward 10 times on the exhale. We'll bring the arms in. We'll take an inhale here and go in. Good. Pause, stretch, open your arms. Good. Bring them back to center. One more set. Here we go. Inhale and exhale. Good. Take your time. Woo, come back up. Walk those legs back in. I know it's hard. You're doing great. All right, now just take your hands to the side here. And this will kind of be our version of down dog. So we want to just kind of feel the arms plug in. Sit bones are wide. And we're trying to aim the butt kind of back and up. So you feel a different stretch than you're in a squat. And just let your head drop down between your arms. Feel the softness into the upper shoulders. You're spreading the sit bones. Pull the belly in and just create a nice elastic movement in through the butt and the long spine. Good. Let's go ahead and step one knee down and then the other. If you have tender knees and need a blanket here, go ahead and bring that over for you. Let's do a little bit of half plank work here. All right, so it's very important, and this is something I didn't really understand as much when I practiced yoga before I became a teacher. It's how easy it is to wing in your shoulders as you're trying to do your 18 million chaturangas. All right, so we don't do that. And I'm glad that Nancy went on her forearms because that feels better for her. All right, so you can be here as well. But what I want you to try to do is not collapse in there. So you're going to either use your arms or your forearms to try to plug into your shoulder blades. Now, from either that forearm or your hands, you're going to hinge forward. So you have to bend your elbows without winging. Good. And bring your hips forward. That looks great. Now plug your arms back and pull your abs in. Very nice. Draw your hips down and forward. There you go. Good. Beautiful. And then press back. That looks fantastic. This is so much better than a wingy plank, because you're working to find the integrity of your spine and the integrity of your deep low abs. Good, you're looking great. One more time, hinging, you got it. Plug the arms in and press back. Fantastic, well done, my friends. All right, now let's take ourselves down. And just for a moment, let's have a little supported position with our feet on the chair. You don't really want anything under your head at this point because we've got our legs elevated. And this is kind of our version of legs up the wall pose. All right. What I hope you feel here is neutral spine, right? So your butt muscles kind of just hang down there. You should feel a little space under your low back. And then just kind of stretch your arms in any way that feels good. We'll just take a few breaths here to kind of release things a little bit. If that feels like it's too much elevation or your head feels it's just drawing too far back, then always come down, take care of yourself. And we're kind of just transitioning to a little softer place on the mat after that really active work and standing. And just let that belly rise with the inhale. And go concave with the exhale. Good. And we'll just let that chair, take our legs off the chair, move it out of the way. You can put something under your head so you're comfortable there. Let's take a moment to settle into that shape. And I think it might feel good to do some windshield wipers next. Take the angle of this down for my friends at home so you can see a little better. So let's be, as we come for our windshield wipers, let's be careful how we do it. Okay, so with your feet as wide as the mat, bring your knees into the center. Now, it's really important as you go to the side that you're kind of angling your knees away from your head on that left side especially. So as you turn to the right, make sure that you're feeling that stretch across the hip and that you're trying to keep that left shoulder down. And this way you're going to protect your back. Feel the way that front hip flexor really gets a nice stretch. You come back to center, make sure you fold the knees into the center. And as you're going to the left side, keep your right shoulder down and let that right knee reach long before it goes over. Yeah, that looks good. So it's a nice spiraling effect to your spine that doesn't feel, torquey in your back. Good, and then with your feet more parallel, let's take the right foot on top of the left, coming into our version of pigeon pose. You want to make sure that your pelvis is level, and you don't have to do anything else other than just press that right thigh into the left thigh. It's a very good piriformis stretch. If you want a little bit more sensation, you can fish your right hand into that opening. And then both hands just clasp behind the left thigh as you use your right forearm to press that right thigh away. So you've got this kind of pull and push idea going on that gives you a really nice sensation in the outer hip. Just make sure that you're lengthening your low back. And so remember when we found those deep six rotators, the piriformis is one of those. It lays right on the sciatic nerve. And so if it's tight and compressed, you're going to feel pain and whole sensations down the side of your leg. Very important muscle to stretch. And we'll bring that leg down. Separate your feet, level out your pelvis, and bring that left leg on top. First thing you want to do is just activate by pressing the leg into the right leg. And then just, if you care to, bring that hand inside the opening. As you're pulling the hands around the right thigh to bring it in, you're using the left forearm to press the left thigh away. Feel a real nice energetic burn into the left butt cheek. Flex your feet, intensify that a little bit more. Always feel free to back things down if it's just not working for you tonight. Good. Now separate that and just bring your legs to tabletop. Let's just stretch everything out. We're just going to stretch the legs up towards the ceiling and the arms back behind you as you inhale. And then exhale, hands down, knees bent. Let's just do that 2 more times. So stretch the legs up, bring the arms back as you inhale long back and exhale, bend, kind of neutralize that spine. Once more, just bring it up and back. Feel your whole body long. And slowly return your feet. Stretch them out. Good. Make sure that you're really open through the butt, through the pelvis there. You can take your arms in whatever shape feels good to you. This is where we get to really do yoga. To check in to the subtle body. Our Shavasana here, your eyes closed. There's no responsibility except to just pause and let go. Softly bring our awareness back into the room. A couple of generous breaths. It might feel nice to just roll your head slowly side to side. Just wiggle your fingers and toes. Feel movement returning. Let's take one leg at a time, bring it in. Let the knees be fairly wide as you feel the way that stretches out in the sacrum. You might just kind of hold your knees as you kind of roll across that low back, because often without intending to, we might take some tension here. Just trying to erase anything that's holding on too much. Just wrap your arms around, hug yourself in. Take a breath. Go again. And then let's just roll over to that right side. We'll stack the knees, have our hands folded under the head. And just pause in this transition. One of our favorite places to be, to just feel the support, the earth, each other, tending to our own bodies. And as you're ready, use that left hand to press yourself back up. Might feel nice to use something to prop your hips up. Take a moment. Just feeling your body again, sitting tall. Let's pause with hands to heart, closing the eyes and just focusing inward. Thanking yourself for showing up tonight, just being on your mat. It's a commitment each week that we make to be together, to feel more balanced, to feel more whole, and to share that with each other in our community. And then grounded again, soft and strong, we're able to face whatever the world brings us as we move off the yoga mat. Well, thank you so much for sharing your practice with me tonight. From my heart to yours, we bow. Namaste.